from this.
I think you were like...
Pop! Guys, this is what he was making when I was labouring on this sofa. He was busying away with his tuna pasta bake.
Can't beat a good tuna pasta bake.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be doing our first sit down video, and our sit down video is
Labour.
Yeah, it's my first birth story with the delivery of our first child, Navy James. So we have two baby boys. I've had two babies in 2 years, so it's quite a lot to go through in terms of the process, and I think it's just great to kind of document and share the experience, share any useful hints and tips that got me through, any preconceptions that I had about labour, obviously being a first time mum. I've had one natural delivery and one natural labour that ended in an emergency section, so in terms of those experiences and what kind of worked for me, and just things that can help if you've got any misconceptions, particularly about how long it's going to take. Everyone is different, but sharing this experience hopefully will give you some safety and the knowledge that, you know, not every experience is a delivery from hell, shall we say.
It wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that bad. So if you just give me some room to share.
I need to open my legs a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got some notes, guys, because I wanted to kind of recount it as it happened. So we are going to start on the night before Navy was born. So so we were due to have an induction on the Monday.
Yeah.
And we went out for a meal on the Sunday.
Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
We went out for a meal on Saturday, didn't we?
Had a nice steak. Went to the local steakhouse. Really nice. Did you have no Chantelle?
I had the steak with the chimichurri sauce, and like I had the biggest meal ever.
And the portion size was unbelievable, massive.
Yeah. Yeah, I got out and someone said, "Oh my god, how pregnant are you?" I saw someone in the corridor.
I thought you were going to drop after the meal.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I still had my heels on. Still was repping. I'll insert a picture. I'll find that picture. It's good to be styling, guys. You know, you still got to be yourself. But yeah, we had this big steak, and I think we were due to be induced on that day, the day before, and they pushed it back. Yeah. And we were going to go in on the Monday, so we said, let's go out for a meal. And yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, the steak definitely did it for you.
Yeah. I was so full from the steak. People say pineapple, curry, chili starts you off. Literally, the baby Navy had nowhere to move. I got in, I was like, I suppose the baby can even like kick around in it, because my stomach was so tight. So I just went to bed normally. Actually had a really good night's sleep. And then woke up in the morning and I just had a small white patch in the bed. So it's about 6:30.
I don't think you knew what it was. Well, obviously you knew what it was.
Yeah.
But I think you thought like maybe I'd been slobbering or something.
Not down there.
Wow.
I don't think
no,
so.
No. So yeah, we knew the waters went. You knew the waters broke.
Yeah.
I think I even said to you, the waters have gone here.
Yeah, I think because it's only a small patch, people think when new waters come, and obviously waters do gush when they come away in labour, but it was such a small patch, I was like, oh, is it me? And I'm being induced in another day, so, you know, what to think. But
even though your waters broke, you wasn't having any contractions, was you?
No contractions.
No contractions,
nothing had
no
started.
pain. Nothing like that. So
I called the hospital and they said to me, look, it sounds like your waters may have gone. Are you getting any pain? I said, well, no, not really. And they said, look, it's going to start like period pain, so see how you go. So we got up, Josh ran for a shower like we were going to the hospital straight away.
I was packing the bag. Well, the bags were packed.
Yeah,
I was getting everything ready. I thought, well, all the bags, and I was getting everything ready for thinking that Navy was going to arrive.
Yeah. And then later on that morning, I was sat there. Yeah, I was sat there, and you were downstairs probably making us some breakfast. And I put the contraction app on, and I was saying, "Ooh, Josh, I'm getting some tightenings," and I kept standing up just because I was getting a lot of pressure in my back.
What app
pains were, I can't remember. I will link it down below. I've still got it because I've used it for both
It's really good at
labours. Yeah, because it
'cause
monitors the time between your contractions and it's effectively when you can go to hospital.
Yeah.
And obviously it's better than using a watch and things like that. You just press the button. Yeah, so I was timing it and I said, I think I need to ring them back because I think some pain is coming in. They said, if it starts like period pains, give us a call. We gave them a call and they said, look, you to the hospital, but we did. And yeah, we met a lovely lady, didn't we, on the ward. She was really nice and smiling, said, look, come into this room, we'll lay you down, you can be wide up.
Oh, yes.
They set me up on like a screen, well, linked us up on 2 areas, didn't we? Had like 2 belts around my tummy, and they monitored my contractions and the baby's heartbeat, so they could see the range of the contractions as they were coming and the baby's heartbeat. The baby's heartbeat was absolutely fine, so they were pleased with that, and they just wanted to kind of sit there and just, you know, monitor me for a little while. At that point, I'd not been examined or anything like that, so I had no understanding of how far dilated I was. And then essentially I was getting some more pains and I was like holding onto the bed a bit and I was like, oh, something's happening here.
Contractions were starting.
Yeah, I think because we knew I was being induced the next day, I didn't think we were going to have the baby. I was just thinking he isn't going to come and I'm just going to be induced, that kind of thing. And yeah, so I spoke to the midwife and she went, oh, you having pain? And I said yes, so she gave me some paracetamol.
See your face when she said that.
Yeah, it was a lot of pain actually. Not as much as the overall labour, but it's my first experience, so I think I've got a good pain threshold generally, but it was just the beginning of kind of those pains, I would say. So then I had these paracetamol. I said to me, look, you can go home, everything seems okay, you're probably going to start today. If we think your waters are broken, let's check you over. So they took me into a separate room because I was on obviously the maternity ward at that point, and they examined me and she checked my waters and said, right, okay, you're about 2 centimetres dilated. Because your waters have gone and how far you've progressed since you've come in, you probably are going to move forward quite quickly today, but go home because we won't have you in until you're about 4 centimetres dilated. So that's the key point here in the UK when they say you're in official labour. So we did that, didn't we? We came home, Josh got in, sorted out the dog, you took the dog to stay with family, and we just kind of thought, we'll see how the day goes and maybe sit on the bouncy ball and that kind of thing. So at this point I'm sitting down here.
And that's when I could hear
Yeah, so I was in pain and I was laid like front facing over the sofa just here, and I started just to experience some real pain to my back. Josh at this point was thinking, okay, it's happening.
I was trying to get things sorted, get things in place.
What kind of things were you getting in place, babe?
Oh, I was getting some food ready for us.
Yeah, Josh is preparing for us.
Yeah, so I was in the kitchen where Chantelle was having contractions. Chantelle was with her mum, because your mum was rubbing your back.
I called my mum in the end. I'm here, my mum had arrived, Josh was cooking away, and he said, don't worry, babe, the pasta bake's coming on well, there's tuna pasta bake, we'll have some food when we went to the hospital. So we'd done our pre-examination before we went into labour, and they said, you can bring your own food. There were snacks available. So Josh knew he had to prepare to make sure we were fed.
I was making sure that we had enough food and the food was ready for us, because I didn't know if you enjoy the hospital food. So I thought, I'll make a tuna and pasta bake. Why? Yeah, you was having contractions, but your mum was here.
Big, trying not to let me out to the hospital, and I was like, look, they're 3.5 minutes apart, like it was really full on. They said, okay, give yourself a little while, if the pain's too much then we'll let you come in. But they recommended I took a bath before I came in, so that was, I expected that anyway. So I went and got in the bath and I was having these contractions and they were really, really tough. I was sitting in the bath going, I can't do this anymore. Like I'd had 2 paracetamol that morning and it was really hard. My mum was there, Josh was there, you were helping obviously monitor the contractions as well. And they ended up calling in for me and saying, look, she's in a lot of pain here, she needs to come up. And obviously I knew I was dilating more and more. And they said, okay, I think at this point they'd said, look, was there any blood loss? At that point there was. So that kind of proceeded them to be happy for me to then go to hospital. So everyone was here, got in the car, my mum and Josh, I think my dad went home. We're all in the car, like I remember seeing the neighbours in the front. I was like, get out of the car. And I was holding on through the contractions in the car just to get to the hospital. Got to the hospital safely. You dropped me off at the front door. And then we walked through, didn't we? You were going to go get the bags after.
I hope the baby doesn't come now while you're in the car.
Yeah, me too. And then we walked through the maternity unit, and I was getting like this, like bending down, because it was just the pressure of the pain. I remember a midwife coming over to me, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm in labour." So anyway, they sent us up to it was either the labour ward or the maternity ward, but it was the wrong one they sent us to. The first one I got to, I was in that much pain. I got to the desk and went, like, sorry guys, I wasn't sick. I just keeled over in pain because I just had no pain relief. And at this point, I was 5 centimetres dilated. So they went, "Oh, look, sorry, you're on the wrong ward. Go back down in it was like the porter's lift and go to the right ward." So we eventually got there, didn't we? And it was so good. We got our own room. We had a midwife who was like ready to take us. Everything was great. So we got to put our things down, kind of get set up. But at that point, obviously, I was in established labour, and it just was moving really quickly. I think from us expecting to be in a long induction process to then be in hospital at kind of, I think we got there about 1:15. By the time we were set up in the room, it's probably 1:30, 1:45.
Because wasn't you 4 centimetres dilated then when you obviously got ready for your labour? Wasn't you like 4 to like 6 or 8 in like an hour?
I think
or
when
so?
I got there, they checked me and I was 5. So they were like, "Look, you're in established labour, like we just need to move it on now, like get you obviously."
Well, I can remember the nurse checking you again about an hour or so later, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's like 8 or 9 centimetres dilated, baby's coming."
So we started about 1:30 by the time I was in the hospital bed, and then I just had to get up and get over the back of the hospital bed because the pain again was so heavy in my back.
Yeah.
And literally I just listened intently to every conversation in that room, and I was like, "Be quiet, be quiet."
No matter what you do or say, you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
Because obviously she was in a lot of pain.
I was in a lot of pain, and they said to me, "Look," I think my mum came over to me and said, "You use the gas and air, you know, they're recommending that for you." And I had a change in midwife as well from the beginning, and it just didn't sit well with me.
The gas and air you didn't like,
I think my pain was too far gone at that point where I could really establish my breathing. Obviously, it was my first labour experience. I didn't know what to expect, so I just didn't manage it very well.
Yeah.
I didn't take kindly to it.
Your gas and air, as you're breathing it in, you're breathing it out into this.
It's like an oxygen mask, like a mask.
Yeah, so I don't think, if you're breathing it in, you was thinking about where could you breathe it out, and you didn't realise the technique.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that was tricking you.
Yeah. So in the end, I didn't take the gas and air, but they'd offered me some alternatives, and they said, "Look, if that's not working, you can have pethidine." Obviously, I'd done my birth plan, but I'll be honest with you, when you're in the delivery room, you just like crack on. And I was like, "Yes, give me something." So I took the pethidine. Obviously, people had told me it makes you really sleepy, or it can delay your labour, or some people feel sick of it, but I was happy to go with it. I'd understood the risks. I took the pethidine, and whilst the pain was still there, I think that levelled off in terms of how heightened I felt initially, in terms of being able to cope with the pain. I think I was a bit more relaxed. I was quite a quiet labourer, like I didn't scream or shout or anything. I was just internalised it. I really held on to the hospital bed.
Yeah.
Like, I remember holding it like this for dear life and just saying to her, like, "I don't know if I can do this anymore." Like, my midwife Lisa was just amazing. She was so reassuring, but she was like, you can do this.
Yeah, you did really well
doing this.
Did you anything that I was saying?
You were saying, "Keep going, Chantelle, you're doing it, you can, you can go on." Just reassuring comments, but at some point Josh's face was like this. So I just remember looking and going, okay, it's his first experience, like he knows I'm going through a lot of pain, and we both never done this before.
It was our first experience.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just couldn't, it's just so special and amazing. I was thinking, God, I'm so proud. Yeah, I was so proud of you, because the pain, I could see the pain, and you weren't bothered. You were just trying to push.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. So at this point, the pain had gone on for a while. I'd had the pethidine. I was like, "Look, the minutes felt like hours. I'll be honest with you guys, and I was probably say it was 4 o'clock at this point, but it was a long time because of the intensity of the pain, and it comes quicker and quicker as you get more dilated. And I said, look, I think I want, excuse me. I said,
some water.
Yeah.
Have a breather. You haven't got to tip it, you can just sip
It's like
it.
a Love Island bottle.
But you can just sip it, you haven't got to tip it. If you suck it, it comes out.
Ooh, lovely. Okay. So, yeah, I asked for the epidural, and they said to me, look, the way the epidural works is you can have an epidural, but we need to get the consultant surgeon to come down from surgery, so you might need to wait. I said, I will take that epidural now, knowing the basis that it could extend my labour. I was going to obviously feel paralysed from down below, but things would ease off in terms of the pain. She said, look, we'll examine you first, and then if we can get the epidural booked in, we'll get it for you as quick as we can. They examined me. I was 10 centimetres dilated, so between being 5 at like 1:30, from about 4 o'clock, I was 10 centimetres. So that's how quickly my body had moved, given that I'd never had labour before. So I had, I remember my mum said to me, her labour with my brother was 24 hours, if not longer. It was really intense and really painful. And I think when you're a first time mum, you think, oh my goodness, I've heard these stories, this is what it could be like. But it actually moved really quickly in terms of, our experience.
It's quick, it's good.
And so yeah, they said, you're not having an epidural, you need to push now. So I was like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. But yeah, we went into pushing. And
so you're pushing?
Yeah, because the contractions had kind of started wearing off as such, in terms of the surges were there, but not as frequent as in terms of the pain level, I personally felt. I think there's a query, you never know what you're going to experience from each stage of labour. For me, I didn't. When I was pushing, whilst it was so intense, and it was a lot of obviously personal strength, you have to put everything you've got into it, but I felt a bit of relief in terms of the surges wasn't as strong in terms of my contractions as they were when I was dilating. Yeah. So pushing, trying to do my most, gritting your teeth, putting everything to it, chin down like this, pulling your legs up as much as you can.
Listening to the nurse as well, because she was telling you when to push.
The midwife was really helpful.
Yeah.
Saying how many pushes I needed to do. And basically Navy,
she
was going up and down the birth canal. So I would push, he'd go straight down the birth canal, and he'd just get to a point and kind of, it was like I needed to tip the balance in terms of just getting that bit of further edge. So we went like this up and down for about an hour. I think you saw, did you see his head at that point?
Yeah, because the midwife was saying about his hair. So look at it, come around, look at his black hair. Yeah. So obviously he was right there. Yeah. And she was saying about doing a couple of more pushes and he'll be here.
He's here.
I can remember you smiling. I think you were smiling. I think you said his hair be straight, but his hair looked straight then.
Yeah, he had loads of straight hair.
Black hair, yeah.
But curly now.
Yeah. So I came around to where so I could see the baby. Yeah. And obviously Chantelle was pushing.
Then they said to me, Chantelle, you've got 30 minutes. If he's not here within 30 minutes, we're going to get the consultant down, and they will either forceps him out, or they'll try and do like a vacuum delivery, what they call it.
Of course, yeah.
And that really inspired me. I was like, no way am I having that. Like, obviously, if I could avoid it. And I think at this point, you don't know the power of your own body in terms of what you can do. And I'd read a lot about hypnobirthing. I'd not practiced it, should I say, but it's like the power of what you can do, and really the power of your mind. And at this point, I just shot into, that is it. This is all I've got. I have got half an hour. I am goal orientated. This baby is coming out. So I pushed so hard.
And also the baby was Navy was just there then. You just like, you're speechless. You didn't know what to say. You're thinking, my God, he's beautiful. And I can remember you getting like emotional, and obviously the past baby, the mum straight away. And I was just like, oh my God, because his face was so swollen up and stuff, you can't really.
He was a really big baby.
Yeah. And
I remember you saying to me after, it looked like your blood vessels were going to pop out the side of your head. But that was everything I had, and obviously everything I needed. And I didn't want to go into a section. I didn't want to have a forceps delivery if I could avoid it. And he came, and it was amazing. And I just couldn't believe he was here. He was a really big baby. So Navy was £8.11.
I can remember looking at you thinking, oh well, proud I am of you. I thought you'd done so well.
So sweet. So sweet. So yeah, that, you know, he came and immediately, everyone says the rush of kind of pain in terms of that being super, but the rush of love and kind of that initial bond, it was just amazing. And
Yeah.
we'll find some pictures, and if we can insert them kind of around or towards the end of the video. So yeah, in terms of our experience and our delivery story, that's kind of how we went with Navy. So it was really quick. So from starting at 6:30 that morning, Navy was born at 5:37 on Sunday, and he was born, and did he cry straight away? Was he quiet? These are the things that slip my mind.
No, he did. He was when he came out. He was a bit quiet. Then he did that cry. He cried. He do so.
Yeah, and he was so like crumpled.
Yeah,
and, like,
but this is cry you want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, so he was nice.
Yeah.
Then obviously the midwife, he passed the baby over to you, don't you?
Yeah.
Then you give him a love and stuff. Then they wipe the baby down and put him in his little outfit, what you pick for when he's born, and he just looks dead cute and snuggly. And it's just like, God,
it was so lovely.
It was amazing. Yeah,
and it was our, like, you know, first big family moment, I would say, even though we are engaged. Life moment as a family. So I just want to cover off, I think I said at the beginning, what really worked for us, and then maybe what didn't, to help any kind of mums to be, people that have gone through different labour experiences, you know, positive and or negative, just some reassuring things on kind of what worked for us as a family. So I would say overall, staying at home for as long as possible worked for us. For me as a first time mum, I think it helped me manage my pain. Overall, I could deal with a lot more than what I thought I had a propensity to deal with. Obviously, I got to 10 centimetres with pethidine, and I thought I needed an epidural, but actually I was doing it, my body was doing it. So I think overall that helped, but there was worry at the time, but it's the first time experience, and I think if you're going through that, just have faith that you can do it and you can get through it. Definitely, for me personally, you know, it was suitable for my medical needs and my medical requirements, but I think the pethidine helped. It didn't make me feel sick, it didn't make me feel sleepy, I knew where I was, but it made me more relaxed. I think just being able to cope with that delivery, because you know, other things didn't necessarily work for me in that way. I took a lot of comfort from my midwife, and that, you know, I have my family there to support me, but in terms of knowing where I was at, like, speak to them, tell them where you're at, and say, you know, if you don't feel you can do it, just get that reassurance from them where you need it, in terms of, you know, you can do that. And labouring up high on the bed, again, as I was keeled over here, that really supported me with my pain in my back. It just made things feel easier. Moving around as you need to. I never stood off the bed. I know a lot of people do that. I didn't need to do that, but as soon as I needed to get down, I said, I need to come down now. Like, I need to sit down and labour in a different way. That helped me just feel more comfortable, and just having those people there, to just respond. Obviously, we were quite well prepared because we were just waiting for him to come, and so were our families. So we had, like, most things packed. Obviously, this one helped me significantly, and maybe a bit about the hypnobirthing as well. Mindset and being confident in terms of what your body's capable of. I kept that in mind. I can't say I used all of the breathing techniques, and I didn't invest in a course, but I did do some reading and kind of around that subject just to prepare me mentally, and again, I think that helped. And again, you know, some people will need to scream or cry, and I didn't necessarily have that, you know, in terms of being loud, but definitely internally I pushed that energy through my body, and I think for me physically that went a long way. For me personally, the only thing I could say didn't work in terms of my natural delivery was gas and air, and that was just where I was in terms of my pain management and my ability to kind of adjust and get in tune with the breathing, but I think it was because I was trying to focus my energy on coping with the pain. Other than that, in terms of having a natural delivery, I was really fortunate. I didn't need stitches or anything like that. I just had a couple of lacerations that I needed to take care of after delivery. So yeah, I think overall for a first time mum and having a, you know, no preconceptions in terms of what could happen, I had a really positive labour story from thinking we were going to be induced and it could take days and days and days. It went really well.
Did you expect it to be how it was?
I expected it to be a lot longer. And I think as a first time mum, you've got time on your hands, you've started your maternity leave, you're thinking, okay, what could it be? And you get to a certain point, maybe after 35 weeks, and you get that element of worry. And the day before, you know, you're going to have your baby, you're just like, whoa, I've got to do this, all this stuff.
For me, I expected it, how it went. I was expecting it to be a lot for some reason. Maybe just staying positive.
Positive, yeah.
Positive. So the best advice I can give you guys from the lad's point of view is when your missus is in labour, just listen to what she's got to say, just be supportive, just hold her hand, just don't be on your phone flicking away on Instagram and this and the other. Just make sure you're there, support your missus, and yeah, just tell her how much you love her. Just be there for her. You might get some slaps, some pinches, but you will be okay.
Yeah, and make sure you got my favourite snacks. So loads of Jaffa cakes. Loads of Jaffas. I was like, give me a Jaffa cake at the end of it, so yeah.
And make sure you bring the wine after to celebrate.
I don't remember a wine, but you must have brought it, so yeah.
Positive.
So yeah, for any ladies who are going to be a mom or have a different labour story or just wanting to know about an experience, this is ours. Hopefully some of the tips and hints, you know, will help you in terms of coping with pain management or looking at different options that work for you, or looking into things like hypnobirthing, or having good food and good people present with you during your labour. Yeah, so if you want to see more videos like this, please let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see. This is our first baby story with our son Navy James. We will be doing a follow-up one for my second delivery with our son Knight, who is just 7 months old. We've got a 21-month-old and a 7-month-old. So if you want to hear about that story, please keep following us and subscribe below.
Like and leave a comment as well.
Yeah. And we'll be back with more videos soon.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
Yeah. Unlost them all, yeah.